I created this about 10 years ago. I have barely tweaked it in 10 years. So that's how sort of, when I say planning today for tomorrow, for, the next, it all works if you underpin everything properly. So, website planning, are you bothered? Does it bother? You just chuck up a website and just leave it? Is that fine? Is that okay for your business? I would say no, it's not. You really, plan to, what is it? Fail to plan, plan to fail. It's a cliche, but it's true. And as a web designer and developer, you meet all sorts, that just sort of don't like yellow, so therefore I don't want a yellow website. But do you know what? If your clients love yellow, if you've done your research and yellow is your client's favorite color, then guess what? You should build a yellow website. I mean, it's as simple as something like that. So I'm just going to say this is the kind of thing that we go into. Basically, everybody should be seen on the internet in this day and age. What are your options? What should you be doing? Who are you and who are your clients? Creating a digital shop front. Is it just a brochure, or are you actually really going to want some activity going on your website? Function and form, what's the balance between the two? So, you want all this functionality, how good do you want it to look? What is the balance? Content is king, and ongoing content is, if you want to keep that crown, you've got to keep that content going. The importance of planning, which is what this is all about. And if I'm looking from side to side, I really apologize, Sarah. I do have two screens and I have a camera in the middle. So no
apologies tonight. It's not a
I will try and look at the middle of the screen, but if I'm not, it's like because
you crack on.
I'm kind of looking from one side to the other. I'll try and look. I'll put my list of people there in the middle, so therefore I look like I'm looking at you a bit. So then choosing a development team, who are you going to get to build your websites? I cover that a little bit, internet and the law, and then getting it out there, marketing your website, getting that visibility. So, as I said, I did this 10 years ago and I still have this slide. Every business should be seen on the internet, but don't go in blind. Really try and understand what you're doing and who you're doing it for. All of this kind of stuff it can cover. As I said, I want to whiz through this, but if you do it right, you will expand, attract, communicate, raise awareness of your business, that is, build your reputation, you're doing PR, you will deliver stuff, you will sell more product, you will enhance the lifetime value of your customers, and you can always showcase your new services. So your website, if you do it properly, can do a myriad of things for you. A lot of people build their website, and I have so many people who come to me who say, well, yeah, I built it about 5 years ago, but I haven't looked at it since then. I'm not really into it, but I know I should do something, but I haven't, and I should, but I haven't, and I know I should, and all of this goes on. And my classic answer to that is, if you're not in love with your website, you aren't going to tell anybody about your business in this day and age. So again, who, what, why, how? Who are you as a business? Who are the key audiences for your website? Why should they use your website? What will appeal to them? Who are you appealing to and what will appeal to them? How will the site content be structured? How will people navigate around the site? This is hugely important now for 2021 because Google have changed a lot of their algorithms. All Google wants to do, and this is a whole nother talk. I've written a book also called How to Think Like a Search Engine, but as I said, it's a different topic. But if you think about it, all that Google wants to do is deliver us with the best websites for our search. So as a business, what you need to do is make sure that Google know that you are the best website and the best business for their search, for people's searches. And there's hundreds of ways you can do that, but it's like appealing. It's what is your appeal? What is that emotional appeal that you have in your website? So all of that needs to be considered as well. How will navigation happen. You know, usability, user friendliness, that's a big indicator to Google as to how, and they can tell how your site is structured these days. So, you know, what are the main marketing messages? What are the outcomes? How are you getting people to register? How are you tracking your leads? How are you getting people to sort of go into your list? You know, lists, a lot of people, it's a dirty word, but it's not. Get people into your list and make sure you're marketing to them. If you are wonderful at what you do, they're going to want to hear from you. You know, they really will want to hear from you. They want to know what you've got to say because you're amazing at what you do. So make sure you're building that list and you have a strategy to connect with them and keep connecting with your potential clients and your existing clients as well. So it's all of that. I won't go through this in great detail, but you know, a good website should always begin with the user. A lot of people say, well, you know, what they say, well, how do I know what my clients want? Ask them. Ask them. Just, you know, phone a couple of your favorite clients and say, you know, if you were landing on a website, you know, like mine, what would be the one thing that you'd like to see? What would be the best bit of information that I could give you? You know me, you know my business, you know what I do. What would be the best bit of information that I could give you that you'd be jumping on? So, as I said, ask them. It's as simple as that. You only have to ask 3 or 4 clients, you know, and you'll get a reasonable amount of feedback. So, you know, the website should have emotional connection, online experience and easy navigation, responsive service nature, trust and fulfillment. I have not changed that list for 10 years. Not for 10 years. Okay, so, you know, that's what you have to do. And then there's all the little bits and then sort of how you do it in there and stuff like that. Again, if you want the slides, I can send it to you. And again, this is going to make you laugh. These websites are all 10 years old. And I thought today when I was sort of creating the slides again, I thought, shall I change them? And I thought, no, I'm not going to change them. I'm actually going to stick with these 3 because guess what? They're still relevant, and it does point out very easily the kind of thing that you should be thinking about and how you structure your website and where these trust points and where all these things come from. So each of these has a different target audience, as you can imagine: Screwfix, Bowden's, and a man with a van. So, and in each case, see if you can spot the dominant KPI, which is the key performance indicator. So here we've got your Screwfix. So where's the emotional connection? Where's the easy navigation? Where's the responsive service? Where's the trust? And where's the fulfillment? Whoops, hang on, don't know why that went back. So as again, you can see this is a very old website, but it's good. It works. And if I'm not going to go through it and ask anybody to do anything because I say we've got to whiz through this, but there you go. That's the answer. Got lots of good, easy navigation here. You know, you can see what you need to do, where you need to go, emotional connection, where the trade buys, free next day delivery, you know, customers who bought these items in your trolley also bought this, trust, shop with confidence, you've got a padlock, free next day delivery, fulfillment, free returns, you know, view our FAQs. It's doing it all. And that was 10 years ago. So these are the kind of things that you really need to be thinking about. Is your site trustworthy? You know, do you actually offer some kind of fulfillment promise in any way? Do you have a responsive service? You know, how many times do you email somebody and then about a week later you're thinking, why haven't they contacted me? You know, it's like we don't do a week's worth of like not contacting somebody in this day and age. Here's another one, Bowden's, very nice website. Again, here's all of the stuff that you need. Bang, there it is. My Bowden Quick, emotional connection. They've got the My Bowden, it's me, you're talking to me, that's great, that's personal. Your easy navigation, you can search for something really easily. You know, you click on the navigation, there it comes up. You can, you know, filter down. So navigation, filters, fulfillment, trust, they've got a little bit of competition, fun stuff. So they're really, really, really engaging. Again, 10 years ago. Is your website really engaging? Do you, if you've got a responsive service, can somebody join Twitter and just send you a message because they can't email you because you haven't answered your email? 9 times out of 10, if I can't get through to anybody, or if I want like British Gas or any electricity company, go and ping them on Twitter. Ping them on Twitter. They will they'll jump all over you once you tweet them, or you say, oh bloody hell, I can't get an email out of these people, but I wish I could get help on this. Bang, bang, bang at whoever. They'll jump on it. They'll send you a message. They'll send you a private message before you've even know. And here's the man with the van. You might think, well, that's a bit of a crap website. But do you know what? A man with a van, you don't want somebody who looks expensive. You don't want a man with a van's website to look like, Harrods. You just want somebody to deliver something. You want them, so he's got all of the last, they're called George, cash, first time for, cash only. Well, that's his trust value. But he's got all these kind of things. And if I just ping that, that'll show you. There's your emotional connection. It's on Facebook. See me on eBay. Man with a van blog. So he's got you can read about what it's like being a man with a van. That's interesting to you. Got easy navigation. And again, this is 10 years old, but it does the job. It does the job. So it's always, it's about being appropriate. It's about, being visually appropriate, but whatever it is, whether you're a man with a van, whether you're Screwfix or whether you're Bowden's, you want to have all those things in place. You really, really do. So every business should be seen on the internet. We're carrying on a bit. So in summary, why do you want a website? Who do you want to attract? And what do you want it to do? Okay, what would be the main KPI on your website? So, mark things out of 10, write a list of things and then establish a priority out of, do you have emotional connection? Have you got easy navigation? Are you a responsive service and do you fulfill that? And there's your trust, and then the fulfillment, obviously, for the responsive service. And then going back to, obviously getting those reviews and stuff like you said, Sarah, it's really, really important. Not you, sorry, Debbie said before about getting reviews and things. We weren't hell bent to get our reviews. We've got 68, I think it is now, 5-star Google reviews. And that helps. Google then go, hang on a second, these guys must be good. And then the clients see it as well. So, once you sort of hit a certain number, then you can splash it out on your website. And there's your trust and there's your fulfillment in one fell swoop. Quickly whizzing through, understanding options for consideration. So main site development activities. So if you're actually developing a website, what kind of things do you want to plan for? Your marketing and business objectives. You must prepare a brief. I mean, certainly, even if you're preparing it for yourself because you're building your own website, write yourself a brief. Know what you're going to do. Know what you want to actually, that website to provide you and provide your customers. Maybe select an agency or at least select a service who's going to provide your hosting, who's going to provide your updates, who's going to do the technical stuff. Make all those decisions and write them down. Do your market research, get some prototype designs in place. After you've done that, then develop your content, test and revise and launch the site. So that, whether you do it yourself, whether you select an agency, whatever it is, there's certainly those processes that need to be in place. And then other things that underpin it, keyword research, underpins and supports and enhances pretty much everything you do on the internet. I got slides that I used to do. I used to do some presentations, I think even before this one. And one of the slides that I had was this little lady, and she's sitting over a crystal ball. And again, this is more of an SEO thing. And it's like, if you do your keyword research properly and you understand what people are typing in to find you and your business, then it's like a crystal ball into your clients' minds. And if you know that, then you can write blogs, you can write content, you can give your headings the right titles, all that kind of stuff. And if you're putting in the right keywords, then, and you're doing that consistently and writing more and more content about that, and pointing it all back to your website, then again, Google go, hang on a second, these people know exactly what they're doing. They're very good, you know, they're absolute thought leaders in their industry, and they've got the right, you've got the right words on your website, the people are typing in, bang, you'll start gaining traction on the internet. And then obviously if you've then got a nice website and people can engage and people can download stuff and people can engage with you, then you know you're in business. You know, you can sort of, if you're learning what your customers want by finding out how they search, you can gain value propositions, you can get insight into your customers' mindsets, and that can lead you to developing new products as well. Because if you do your keyword read and you see, and suddenly you see that they're searching for a lot of X in your industry, you might say, well, hang on a second, I'm actually not providing that. I had a one-to-one with somebody a couple of days ago. She does marketing, and she was like looking, and she said, I know my website, blah, 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 blah. And she said, yeah, no, so I do lead generation, but she had nothing about lead generation on her website. It was all about that she did social media, she did Facebook, she did this and that and the other. And I said, well, what are you ultimately doing for people? You're generating leads, and that's what people want. That's what we want for our businesses. And we then looked up and did a bit of keyword research, and we found that a lot more people were looking for lead generation than they were for, you know, a social media manager, for example. So she's had to, obviously I said, she said, oh God, you made me think. But it does, it makes you think. You've really got to understand that and know that. Going on a little bit more, you know, the name game, choosing your name. If anybody wants any information on choosing a domain name, I wouldn't really, you know, I wouldn't hang up your hat on it you know, too much. You know, it's good to have a domain name with your industry in it, but again, it's not the be all and end all. There's a lot of other SEO indicators that really help more than just having the domain name in your industry. Again, those are just a list I made of the sort of .things you have. You've got the .uk now. Somebody said to me the other day, one of my clients, she's got the .com, but she's got her website on the .co.uk. She said, and the .com came up for renewal, and she said, do I need to renew it? I said, for 12 quid, do you know what? You're hanging on to your brand. Just do it. Keep the .com. She's not using it, but keep it so nobody else gets it, really. If it's a proprietary thing, do you know what? That's fine. So first things first is with registration, hosting packages. I could go on forever about hosting and, you know, the pros and cons to good, bad hosting. Everybody says, you know, we do hosting, we charge £25 a month. Everybody says, why is it so expensive? I can get it for a tenner. I'm like, well, okay, fine, go and get it for a tenner. But, you know, if you want a powerful website, if you want a powerful computer, then you're going to pay more for it. And a hosting package is the same. If you want space, if you want speed, if you want security, if you want responsiveness, if you want managed, if you want to pick up the phone and get things fixed immediately, you pay for that somewhere. Again, check your emails, check what your hosting does with emails, check the support, and check the backups. So make sure that your website is being backed up. And ensure you've got the right hosting for your needs. I'm not going to harp on about that, but that's another thing that's all very much part of website planning in today's day and age. Again, profiling yourself, understanding who you are, understanding what your business is, understanding where it's going, and then how to present that and how to interpret that and how to put it across correctly on your website. I don't know if I mentioned it, I did a whole degree in visual communications back about, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. I was a mature student, but I did a visual communications has been something that's just a passion of mine. I'd do a master's in it if I had time, and I didn't even understand at the time it would lead me to do what I do at the moment. But visual communicate, it's all about, we perceive an image 60,000 times faster than we do the written word. And that, you know, coming back to you, Sarah, you know, image, it's really important. Yes, I know my hair looks dreadful at the moment, but that's just, I think that's something that we can all be forgiven for it. Because the hairdressers are on, yeah, well, they're going to be very busy very soon, I think. But anyway, sort of, you know, define who you are in your business, define your business personality, where you want to be, how you want to be seen, and stick a stake in the ground and commit to it. Yeah, stick a stake in the ground and commit to it. And really, you know, and if you are struggling with understanding who you are, where you're going, what you're doing, then again, if you've got a couple of clients, just bash it around with them, or call me, because I love chatting about it. Am I running out of time?
20 minutes, so just sort of you know, a few more minutes if you can, that would be
Okay.
great. We all think your hair looks fab, by the way, Carol.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad it's growing out dark and not grey, but there you go, that's another story. You know, your online objectives: sell, serve, speak, save, sizzle. Oh God, I could go on for a minute. You know, profiling your customer, creating your digital shop front from bricks to click. It's such a massive subject. It is such a massive subject. But if anybody wants these slides, you know, I'm quite happy if it to send them out if it will help trigger any kind of you know, thought process when planning websites, when, you know, your look, your feel, your functionality, the style. There's so much more that goes into a business professional website than I think a lot of people really understand, aside from the technical side of it.